Chaos on the Capitol continues this evening as the Democrats retreat, removing their position from no less than a few hours ago and now embracing a moderate Republican plan that is contrary to everything they've ever said for 6 months. They were offered $400 a week for FPUC in July. Turn that down, you would have had $8,000 in your pocket right now. And tonight they embrace a $300 a week plan that gives you $300 a week starting right now. They always said they would never sign on anything that doesn't have a stimulus check. Now they're supporting something that doesn't have a stimulus check. They always said that eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, food for children were their top priorities. Now they're supporting something that has none of that. What's going on here? Meantime, Mitch McConnell and the president are trying to figure out what's really the best mix, and the Purple Power family really only has one step to make. Take Mitch McConnell and get him to agree to add 3 items: stimulus check, mortgage forbearance, and eviction moratorium, and we have a CR that works. If we don't, we have a government shutdown. It's all breaking tonight as I get more viewers, more money across the board despite all this with CARES Act 1 grants, EIDL, and escalated benefits. Thank you for joining me on this evening's LALATE. Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Evenings LALATE, and boy, what a confusing night it is. I have a lot to go through in this recording, but the incredible great news is that in the last 24 hours, no more than a dozen more viewers in states that some people thought had no rent grants, got rent grants, got utility grants, got food grants, got escalated benefits, and got EIDL. Big money, and I want you to subscribe because no one's fighting to get you money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. And ultimately, when I go through all this, which is just, this is Chuck Schumer's bill, memo, which then he got rid of, and then the bill that Chuck Schumer didn't like yesterday, which now he supports, and then the Mitch McConnell memo, which may not become a bill. After I get through all this, the end result is that there's nothing in here that's going to give you a payment in the next 24 hours. What's going to give you a payment in the next 24 hours? This channel. Myself and the 9 volunteers are working around the clock to give you stimulus from CARES Act 1 money that is sitting in your cities and counties and states, is available right now, and won't be available in no less than about 14 days from now, around December 15th. And the incredible great news is I got to $300,000 at least to viewers, and you should be next. So please subscribe to this channel. I'll be going over how to get that money in this recording. Also, like this video. In this video, I have a lot to go over. I'm going to go a little bit fast because there's a lot of stuff going on. If you follow me in all the recordings throughout the day, you'll see how things have changed so quickly. But I'm going to go over what's in the CR. What is a CR? Where is the deadline for the CR? Then I'll be going over, is there a standalone stimulus bill or is there a stimulus bill in the CR? Then I'll go over what the Democrats started the day with, what they went to the middle of the day with, and what they are at currently. And by the time of this recording, they'll probably change again. Then I'll go over what the president's doing, what Mitch is doing, and finally I'll get to the big money for you. That's the real focus, because ultimately all these things, this mess, it just gives you a big old headache. What is this thing? But I want to give you money. Money cures every headache, doesn't it? All right, so let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here tonight is that this is just a hot mess express. It takes at least 10 minutes to explain. So I'm going to go as quickly as I can to explain to you the bottom line, which is the federal government will shut down on December 11th if they don't have a budget bill. Done. The end. No, but there's a little bit more to it. The federal budget bill traditionally is just a federal budget bill. But since this pandemic hit, they've been putting little bits of stimulus in it. Little bits of stimulus. That's the key words. Because it's a budget bill that only covers the government for about 3 months. And if they don't agree upon the bill, Senate, House, and President signing it, the federal government shuts down December 11th. Moreover, they actually have to get this done before December 11th. So they have to get it done around December 8th. We're here on, December 2nd? So they got about only 6 days to get this done. All right, so what happened today and yesterday? The bottom line as we sit here today is that the Democrats are literally flying from the hills. They started very aggressively, no less than 3 days ago, saying that we want a standalone stimulus bill to be passed during the holidays. Then they said, you know what? Then we'll put some stimulus in the budget bill, and we will come up with what we want to put in the budget bill stimulus. And that started the day with Chuck Schumer introducing a memo that literally is not a little bit of drips of stimulus into a 3-month budget bill, but is literally a gallon of Gatorade on top of a coach in the middle of a Packers game. It literally looks like you're flooding the bill with stimulus. The provisions that Chuck Schumer proposed were for 3 years. What are we doing with 3-year bill provisions in here? Needless to say, had no stimulus checks and had stuff they didn't want to agree to and just went on forever. That was earlier. That was the middle of the day. By the end of the day, Chuck Schumer said, forget my bill. I'll do something else. Or forget my memo. I'll do something else. What? After we were focusing and so excited on your thing? No. So then he's doing something else. So what is Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi doing tonight? Well, Nancy Pelosi started the day by going around everyone else and sneaking in the corner and doing a behind-the-door trickery of calling up Steve Mnuchin and saying, don't tell anyone, but you and I negotiate this, and let's just do it without anyone else knowing. That Steve Mnuchin shot that down. So then she had to grovel back and say, I got to come up with something. And she said, I will never sign on to any conditional resolution unless there's a stimulus check in there. That lasted about 10 seconds. And then we got to where we are tonight. Tonight, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi have agreed to support the horrible mess of a bill from moderates introduced in a grandstanding moment yesterday to Americans instead of putting stimulus in the CR. Let me explain that, because that's a whole mouthful. They are not supporting stimulus in the CR, in the budget bill. What they are supporting is a standalone stimulus bill that's an emergency stimulus bill for just December that has nothing in there that helps you or me. It's literally a horrible bill. And the bill is contrary to everything that the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer included, have said they would never support. What's going on here? I don't know. I don't know. So as you sit here back tonight, who is agreeing to Mitch McConnell's Mitch McConnell's budget bill? No one so far, except perhaps him and the president, who is, 2 out of 3. You just need the House to sign on it. And where are we progressing on that? So far, nowhere. So what does that mean? The federal government's going to shut down December 11th. I mean, if no one can agree on the budget bill is going to shut down December 11th. The federal government's going to shut down December 11th. So then what is this thing from Nancy and those moderates and Chuck? It's just junk. It's junk. And Mitt Romney's behind the responsibility of this junk. It's $300 billion from PPP again, even though there's $800 billion sitting at SBA that no one went last time. So they want to spend another $300 billion more for PPP so that business owners can get $2 million in their hands. Isn't that wonderful? Then they want to give $240 million to state and local. Crush the state and local. Then they want to give liability insurance for businesses. That's a Mitch McConnell, let me brush you provision, because that's Mitch McConnell's provision. They put that in there to say, see, Mitch, I'm giving you something you like. He's going to read right through that. Then they want to do FPUC starting today. No, not retroactive. Starting today. And how much? $300 a week. A what? $300 a week, yes. So stimulus checks, no. Eviction moratoriums, no. Mortgage forbearance, no. Children going hungry, they can go hungry under Nancy Pelosi's current mindset. Don't ask me to explain where we are, but let me explain what Nancy Pelosi has done to millions of Americans. In July, Nancy Pelosi was offered from Steve Mnuchin a $400 a week extension of FPUC that was expiring in July all the way up to December 31st. That is 20 weeks ago. She turned it down, saying, I would never take less than $600 a week. Tonight, she's taking $300 a week, starting today. Had she accepted Steve Mnuchin's offer at 20 weeks at $400 a week, you would have had $8,000 in your bank account if you've still been on unemployment benefits since July. That's 20 weeks, $400 a week. She turned that out. Steve Mnuchin later, during the negotiations of about September, raised his stimulus check offer to about $2,000. She turned that down because his grammar was wrong on testing and tracing. You would have then had $2,000 on top of $8,000, $10,000. You following me so far? Yeah, so we're at $10,000. What did she do for testing and tracing tonight? She didn't care about these people's grammar. She agreed to $550 billion for healthcare and vaccine distribution. Mm-hmm. What else did she do? Well, she didn't agree to any hazard pay. She took out hazard pay several times during the summer. Took that out. Did she give you any EIDL? No. What else did she not give us? Multiple stimulus checks. Oh, yes. So Mitch McConnell, Chuck Grassley, Lindsey Graham, even Steve Mnuchin, even the President of the United States said I would support the problem solvers bill. 2 checks, multiple stimulus checks. What is she giving to tonight? I tried to look really closely, but I can't find the stimulus check here in the bill because there is none. What is she doing? What is Chuck Schumer doing? Now, if you want me to explain it, I don't know. Are they drunk? I don't know. Have they lost their marbles? I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is that through this entire universe, the only one that looks less crazy is Mitch McConnell. He's less crazy than all this because Mitch McConnell basically needs to give you 2-3 extra things and we're done. Mitch McConnell has in there PUA extended. Thank goodness. PUA expires in late December. Mitch McConnell has UI extended. Thank goodness it expires in late December. And he has... well, that's about it. So he needs to add stimulus checks. He needs to add eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance. And we're done. We're done. Because this is just a bill to get us to January. In January, we do $2,400 for SSI, plus a 20% increase lifetime, plus a step up every year based upon a new benchmark. We do that in January. We do hazard pay, $13 an hour times every hour you work from January 20th to 60 days after the pandemic, up to $10,000. Bam in your account, or $5,000. You made $100,000 in 2019 or less. You get 2 EIDLs. You get the EIDL that you may have not gotten before, and then new applicants will get EIDL. You get multiple stimulus checks. You get all these things that you need to get done in January. We just need to ensure we get a stimulus check, and we need to ensure that we're not evicted, and we ensure that we're not foreclosed upon. Is that too hard to ask? I don't think so. So, Purple Power, do your thing. Hashtag stimulus check or shutdown. Hashtag stimulus check or shutdown. Now, the $800 billion of CARES Act 1 money that's still sitting at SBA, yes, that should be repurposed as a stimulus check. Because let's be frank, this is December 1st. Steve Mnuchin is not going to leave that forever there. So Mitch could repurpose that stimulus money as a $5,000 stimulus check. He does use the word repurposing CARES Act 1 money in his memo. Did you get my memo? Let's get to the big memo of the day, which is CARES Act 1 money. I want you to get this money because this thing is just... I don't even think they know what they're doing. Obama actually came out today and said we need new Democrats. The current Democrats are just a hot mess express. I mean, he didn't use hot mess express, but he said the current bunch of Democrats have been around way too long and they're just sort of out of touch. Their touch, I don't even think they have touch anymore. CARES Act 1 money, I want you to get it. And what's important to understand is that the money for rent, utilities, and food is not only in your city hall, your county hall, and your state housing authority, but now it's apparently in other housing authorities for your state. New York was the example. Meantime, Purple Power volunteers for this channel who are absolutely incredible. 8 to 9 of them now have been watching with me Purple Power Live every night, coming up right after this recording, in which viewers say, I found rent from this organization in Mississippi. I found rent from this organization in Alabama, in Louisiana, in there was another state. I can't remember which one it was, but we're all keeping notes of those states that are doing things that we had never heard of. So ultimately, Kentucky. So ultimately, if you're sitting back and saying, "There's nothing in my state," then you haven't been watching Purple Power Live, because we're actually crushing the grants. Every state is doing something. Every county is doing something, and then you have new announcements for new massive rent or stimulus grants just announced in the last few days. Go get them. California, New Mexico, San Diego County, California for business grants and $25,000. And I had heard there's one for New York as well. Really exciting. If you've had problems looking for it, go on the community page and reach out to a volunteer. The volunteers are incredible. They work for all the states, work in all the states, so they aren't state specific. And let me get this message out to a couple of viewers, because I've gotten this comment 5 times today. If you are not tech savvy but have Facebook, you can communicate with people who have Instagram via Facebook messaging. I do it all day long. So you can chat with people who have, the volunteers who have Instagram, via your Facebook Messenger, because Instagram is owned by Facebook. Next, escalate benefits. I want you to get escalate benefits, because this is money that you can get right now, and it's a lot of money. This thing here where Nancy wants to give you $300 for 1 week is just insulting. It really is. And what I'm doing is, I'm not insulting you. I'm just making your wallet feel a lot better. So let's go over how you do escalated benefits. It's so easy. It's so simple. And the hardest question that I'm getting is, what does he mean by the word scan? That's scan, not scam or spam. It's scan. You need to scan your 2019 tax return and get into your computer, your phone. Now, another word for scan is just make a digital copy or take a picture of it. When you're sending the message, whether you're doing it over your phone or via your computer, you need to send a digital copy of your tax return. So the easiest way to do it is just take a picture of it. If you have your tax return in only paper form, this is for people who will have their tax return only in paper form, then take a picture of it so they can see it, and then write the cover letter. Dear Unemployment Office, here I am. My name is Nancy Schumer, and I made $200,000 a year last year doing nothing for the federal government. Here's my 2019 tax return. And under my 2019 tax return, you'll see I made $200,000. I'm currently being paid $100 a week in a lobster, $100 a week in unemployment benefits. Can you see if I qualify for more weekly benefits? And see if you know any good real hairdressers in San Francisco. Thank you, and God bless. You send it off, and then you call them the day after, and you call them the day after that, and you keep on calling them until it's approved. This is the money you're going to get. Follow me right now. It's very simple. If you made $18,000 to $25,000, this will not work if you made it less than $18,000. It's just not worth your effort. If you made $18,000 to $25,000, you raise your benefits about $50 a week. If you've been on unemployment since February, which is 30 weeks, you'll get about $1,500, bam, right in your account. $25,000 to $30,000 2019 earnings, about $100 a week. $3,000, bam, right in your account. And over $30,000, 3 viewers did it, 30 weeks, $9,000, bam, went in their account. Congratulations to those viewers. Next, EIDL. EIDL is so simple when you do it simple. The 3 things you need to remember are: check your Experian Advantage 3.0 score before doing it. Ensure that it's 570. Then, if it's 560, call up Experian and do a boost. It's free. Raises your score about 25 points. Or go on Experian.com/boost. Next, if your score is more like 500 and you're really sort of far below 570, call up Experian, get adverse entries removed. It'll take about 2-3 days and you're ready to go. But if you're over a 570 Experian Advantage 3.0, do the application right away. If you are Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, Airbnb, or have any 2019 Schedule C income, you pull that Schedule C, gross revenue. If you made $10,000 gross revenue, this is how they calculate the EIDL. It's gross revenue, line 1, cost of goods sold, line minus cost of goods sold, line 2, divided by 2. So Uber and Lyft, you made $6,000 Uber and Lyft, It didn't cost you anything, zero. 6,000 minus zeros is 6,000 divided by 2, 3,000. You'll get $3,000 from EIDL. Very simple, and it'll come within 24 hours or 48 hours, really quickly. What's important to understand is that when you apply, don't mess up your numbers anywhere. So when you're applying, if it's your Schedule C, your name is the applicant, your social security number, your bank account, your address, and also you choose the button that says independent or sole practitioner. If you have questions or comments in today's video, drop them in the comments below and I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. Please subscribe because this thing is just changing by the minute. I mean, it's just crazy. I'm going live right after this, so don't miss that live recording because, boy, I'll be answering your questions and more about this, and I'll give my opinions about the situation. Trust me, I got some opinions about this one. Also, like this video. As always, stay informed, stay focused, and don't miss Early Mornings LALATE tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Nearly 100,000 viewers tuned in this morning. Really exciting. As always, stay informed and stay with LALATE for more.